Hello everybody and welcome to the Showcast, a series of candid conversations from film festivals and film markets everywhere, brought to you by The Film Verdict and hosted by yours truly, Matt Micucci. Today I am bringing you more coverage from the 2023 San Sebastián Film Festival and a conversation with renowned Belgian director Joachim Lafosse, who presented his latest film, A Silence, in its official selection. Revisiting aspects of some of his previous films, A Silence is a haunting exploration of the impact of family secrets and the psychological warfare of the domestic setting, starring Daniel Auteuil and Emmanuelle Devos. In this free-flowing conversation with Lafosse himself, we talk about a wide range of topics including family, desire, perversion and power. We also talk about his profound interest in psychoanalysis, his thoughts on contemporary mainstream cinema and much more. Fire up on Audio Teeny and listen to the audio waves as they fly through the air. This is the Showcast. Hello, Joachim. Welcome to the Showcast in San Sebastián.
Hello, I'm happy to be with you.
You were saying that, but just before we started recording, that you love this festival. What is it that you like about this festival?
Because I win with the right nice the mise en scène prize, I think.
Yes.
8 years before, but also because I love the Pays Basque. I do surf and body surf often, and I come here. Right. Here in the Basque Country. I like in fact, I discovered that 8 on my 10 movie, 8 are ever released here.
They must really like you.
No, maybe after, I think that's because I do movie about family. And family for Spanish, it's very important. Yes. And it's a country who accept to think about complex situation.
Why do you make films about families? What is it about this theme, this topic that interests you as a filmmaker?
At the beginning of my career, I would like to do documentary. And I begin to do the documentary into the family, but it's not possible. It's dangerous for the people that you should. It's really complicated to do documentary about the family secret, and that's why I decided to write fiction. In the fiction, you can say some truth, some few truth, and it's not dangerous for the people.
But the fiction is always based on reality, right? So, for example, with Silence, is there a reality?
Sometimes I do autobiographical movie like The Restless, for example, yes, or Free Student. But often I'm catched by true story. But with the true story and the journalist works, you don't have the script. To have a script, you have to write the characters. And that's my job, in fact.
Is that what you start from the characters before you even think about the story, or is there another way?
It's my way, not the only way, but my way. I think I don't have the movie when I don't have the characters. Sometimes I know the end of the movie, for example. It's a good goal to write, but the most important is to find the justice with the character. With the experience, I discovered that often you write also with the actors. For example, for this movie, Astrid, she don't speak a lot, and with her respiration, with her tears, with her rhythm, you can say more things than with the words. That's the job with the actors. And during 10 days, we have a repetition on the set, on the decor. And we write again the movie during this moment. And after I shoot and I continue to change a little bit.
But is there a challenge in making a film where silence is so important? It's not only the title of the film, but it's also a driving energy in the movie.
It's not it's a movie where in the family everyone knows and everyone speak, but they don't speak with the out of the family. That's the poison of the crime. The shame take 2 victims. For me, Astrid and Raphael are victims. The shame provoked on these characters silence or violence. And that's why for me it's a real tragedy. But I do this movie because we live in a wonderful age where we we try to provoke a reflection about the necessity to listen correctly and to propose to the people to have the possibility to speak. But if we would like to have words about criminals, crime sexual, it's important to accept that sometimes people who don't speak are not complice. Astrid, for me, it's not a criminal. It's a woman who loses respiration.
Panic attacks, anxiety.
Yes.
So I mean, empathy then is important as well, right? So do you empathize with all of the characters, including the father?
No. I try to be
Fair.
good writers for the characters of the man, but I judge him. My moral is to say it's a criminal.
So by judging him,
I can imagine why. I'm not a moralist. I hope to be not moralistic director. I'm not a priest, but I try to defend and to be the lawyer of Astrid and Raphael.
but by criticizing him, though, aside from what he does, obviously sexual crime and horrible, unforgivable, do you also criticize patriarchy, the patriarchal structure?
More about the bourgeoisie. But it's a part of patriarchy. Maybe. I try to be just with the characters, and it's not my goals. I repeat, my goal is to, at the beginning of the writing, I think if at the end of the shoot, the projection, the screening, people are able to understand Astrid, I win. And don't judge her.
What about the son?
Same, exactly the same. A lot of empathy for these two characters. I understand them. I believe that I understand them, and I know their silence and their violence.
Another thing that fascinates me about this film is the concept of desire.
No,
You don't see it as desire.
It's a pulsion, it's a pathology, but it's not. For me, we can discuss about the words, but for me, the desire, that's something not criminal. The pulsion of this guy are criminal, but because he watch pedocriminality videos. And he also he commit a crime with the sexual crime with the brothers of Astrid. But the desires also, that's love for me. And you don't have that for this guy.
It's more about power.
For example, yes, absolutely. It's when you are an adult, it's really important, and you begin to be an adult where you are able to say to you, no, I don't do that, and this guy refused, accept to do that. It's not a real adult, this guy, and also he take the mask of the patriarchy, the mask of the hero guys who help the poor victim, and he believe in the redemption when he try to defend the victim. But it's really more important for him to go to the doctors.
Obviously, in your past movies, you've covered topics that were, very powerful and sometimes even delicate. When you talk about pedophilia, are you concerned about the way in which you portray it?
I do a movie in 2007 called Élève Libre, Free Student.
Yeah.
It's my story. After the movie, I see the silence. No one in my family speak. I see that, and in my entourage speak, in fact. It's not correct to say no one, because I speak with certain, and with beautiful words and nice words. But I know that. That's why I do the movie. It's you don't do a movie without to have an intimate reason. Right. The sensation of the shame, for me, that's my way. That's my goal. And everyone knows this sensation.
You think so? Do people?
Yes, but when you see a criminal situation, for example, with your boss or with about financial crime. Sometimes you rob someone else without to say it, and you are alone to know. If this guy or this girl are your patron, and you can lose your job, you feel the shame to don't speak. Okay. But you have also to be afraid to speak, because you know the consequence, and that's the feeling that I would like that the audience feel.
But then still people do it though, right? Because I mean, again, we go back to the power. Essentially what I want to ask you is, do you want the people who are ashamed? Would you prefer it for the people who feel that shame to watch this film, or would you prefer for the people who cause that shame to watch that film?
When you are in the bourgeoisie, you have people educated, who have words, who know how it's possible to say to someone, don't speak, or who have the capacity to say, okay, I have the possibility to go to the doctors to change. They have the words, and the words, it's one of the best power. And I show that. You have the image of the peaceful, but that's just an image. And the crime, it's the capacity to protect the crime. It's not a question of money and of precarity. I think also that you have maybe more crime in the rich part of the people than the poor. Really. Sometimes maybe you don't have richest without the crime.
The lawyers especially, because they're good with words usually, right?
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question then? Like, because this is fascinating conversation, but let's talk about cinema itself. Do you think mainstream cinema now is bourgeois?
No, I think it's populist, not bourgeois, populist. Simple answer for complex question. I think mainstream cinema, I don't speak about Auteuil's movie. Of course. No, I think it's just a question of, in fact, of jouissance, or it's a publicity. Or we can speak about Barbie or Oppenheimer. I like Oppenheimer, but Barbie for me,
it's a toy. It's a movie about a toy.
It's publicity. Yeah. It's a real publicity, and it's a lie, like in my movie. Because it's a movie who said, we help you, we would like that you be all feminist. But in fact, they want that we would buy, and the mother and the woman buy Barbie for their daughter. That's just the movement.
Yeah. And it's also Barbie, so everybody knows it. It's been around for generations. There's something safe about it, right? So you go in and see a movie about Barbie.
And the administration, the Conseil of Administration, it's a group of boys, but the administration conseil in the movie don't change. Because you have the old woman, the creator, and they can continue their job without problem. Entre hommes, just with the man. And Barbie don't say why you are just 10 men to be in the direction of the society.
Yeah.
And no one say that. I listened to someone who said in the movie that's the guy who continue to be the patron.
It's very, very odd. You're right, yeah. Back to your film, though. One of the things that I wanted to also bring up is, and I very much appreciated, was the home, the setting of the house. It's big and it remains mysterious. Everybody has their own room, but it feels like a house, but not a home. So do you find that stimulating?
As a director, this movie was really nice to produce, because I would like to do a movie without seduction, without too much, without pathos. I would like to have empathy for Astrid and Raphael, but without pathos, without too much sensibility. In fact, I wish sensibility, but not too much. And for example, I try to use a Steadicam, but it's too much sexy. And we do all the movie with a dolly. It's an old chariot, an old little car where you put the camera, and we do plan séquence in all the house. And when the plan séquence was a little bit too long, it was not good, and we have to take again. And it was also one of my movie where I was afraid. But at the end, I'm really proud, because, for example, the film before, The Restless, it's a movie with the épaule, you see?
Yes.
With the épaule, but not this one. It's completely different. And I like to do this both different movie.
Why did you say that you were afraid or worried? What were you afraid of?
It's complicated to write this sort of mise en scène.
Without being sentimental.
It's more easy to do a movie on the épaule.
And then the scenes in the car too, which, you want them to talk, but it's
like, in fact, I'm a very big fan of Abbas Kiarostami, and he show how the sequence between two people in the cars, it's wonderful, and what you have an intimacy in a car, and also it's a sort of a fusional area. And you don't have the society. You can use the car to take your freedom, but also to keep the silence. And that's why we do a lot of cars sequence in the movie.
Yeah, they have no choice. They have to talk to each other, right? Yes. They're trapped inside this moving thing.
Exactly.
So you want to remain detached. You don't want sentimentality to be in the film, right?
But I hope to have empathy.
Empathy, yeah.
Yes.
Which is different from sentimentality.
Yes, exactly. Empathy for me, it's to offer a comprehension, an understanding. Yeah. The question of my writing, it's how is it possible? Not what's happened. What's happened is not really interesting. How is it possible that's happened? And how we construct how this poison of the crime attacked the people in the family.
I'd like to return to the family, actually, because, yeah, like we said, you talk a lot about families in your film, but do you think that family is, how do I say this, a big reason of terrible things happening in the world?
No, for me, that's interesting to begin at this area, because we begin there. That's change, but it's a strange situation. You choose or you not choose your family. You accept, you don't accept you. It's a situation of dramatic for writing a script. For me, but it's intuitive. It's not, I can explain that I do a lot of years of psychoanalysis but.
Does it help you?
Even with the psychoanalyst, sometimes you don't have answer. It's normal. It's not a problem. Why I do so much.
You mean you go to the psychoanalyst?
Sorry.
You go to the psychoanalyst?
Since 25 years.
Does it help you?
Yes.
And do you find that it inspires your film?
Well, all. Yeah. I write my script during the 45 minutes. No, it's not. No, I don't have my pen, but I.
It stays with you.
I understand during the séance. Oh, you said in English, séance? No?
Yeah, it's like, I was going to ask you if your psychoanalyst gets a portion of the income from the movies. No. Yeah. So that's interesting. So have you always been interested in psychoanalysis?
Yes. I read, I study, I do.
Do you have any, I'm sorry for getting nerdy with this, but do you have any psychoanalysts in history that have influenced you and you know that they have influenced your work more than ever?
Yes, I think Winnicott a lot. And also Joyce McDougall. It's a New Zealand psychoanalyst who worked in France. And also I love a lot le Hongrois. Devos, aussi Julia Kristeva, also Caroline Ileachev. I'm not a Lacanian. I read Lacan, but sometimes it's. I have a problem sometimes.
Interesting, because I said desire earlier.
For me, it's too radical, too intellectual. Not stupid to say intellectual, but sometimes he forget that he. Sometimes it's a little bit perverse, in fact.
Perverse, but also I find maybe a bit pop.
Yes, okay. Yes, but between the protection of the people and pop, I prefer the protection of people. Because sometimes Lacan, it's a violent guy. Yeah, you have story about that. It's not, but it's another age. And I like women who are psychoanalysts. Yes. Ferenczi. Oh. I like a lot.
I know that our conversation is probably winding down, but I want to talk a little more about your work with the actors. Because again, we talk about a film where atmosphere is also really intense and the family dynamic is really interesting but heavy as well. So do you have you said that you worked a lot with them, but I'd like to know whether you had conversations with them about their characters. What did you talk about? Did you talk about maybe their own personal experience? And how did they communicate with each other?
We speak about us. I can say what, because it's really intimate. But that's the work. In fact, strange, the work, it's to create an ambience, an area between me and the actors where they can begin to speak about the feeling about the characters. And sometimes, but it's really, never I speak about that in an interview. I protect this word. But at the moment where they begin to speak about their history, their feeling, then their past, their life, they are able to feel and to begin to be just for me. But it's important to respect the protection of the words. But that's my proposition for them. And for example, with Emmanuelle, we speak about our life, in fact, and about our shame, our moment of silence in life. And when you exchange something really intimate with someone with who you have a collaboration and with who you have to do a movie, after a moment you stop to speak, you understand with a regard, just
I look.
Yes, and you begin to have a complicity.
So then, do they start behaving like a family? The three main actors, the father.
It's a friendship more than a family, because for me the words are important. Family, you don't choose your family, you choose your friend. Sometimes you accept your family, you accept your parents, that you are an adult. But I prefer to say it, to use the words, because sometimes people use the words, the family that you choose. But I said, my friend. I prefer to say it, you have a friendship. I have a friendship, a real friendship, a real meeting. Never I forget my collaboration with Emmanuelle, for example, or with Daniel. The courage of Emmanuelle or of Daniel, because to play this guy, it's a real courageous position for Daniel, for an actor. And I have the same feeling, the same friendship with each actor where I do movie. With Damien Bonnard for La Restless, with Leila Bekti, or here with Emmanuelle. And
Can I ask you why you decided to become a filmmaker? Because we talked about psychoanalysis. You could have been, let's say, if you were into the arts, you could have been any type of artist. But why a filmmaker?
Maybe first it's a sort of protection, and it's not the good reason.
Protection for you?
Yes. Because with the fiction, I can say, without the danger of the reality. But it's also because not a long time ago, I discovered that the meeting between me and the actors, in fact, the actors said to me, you can be here with us. You can watch us. You can shoot or image or visage. You are, and I think before the cinema, I have the impression that it's not authorized for me to be there, and with the relation with actors, we said, okay, you can watch me. And I said, and I watch. It's really important for me. That it's strange why I have an idea, but it's a long answer.
I would love to get into it more, but we have to close, unfortunately. But I do want to ask you one thing, though. If you hadn't become a filmmaker, what do you think you would have tried to become? If you hadn't become a filmmaker, do you think you would have done another word?
Psychoanalyst.
Okay. There you go. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Joachim Lafosse, director of Silence from the 2023 San Sebastián Film Festival. Stay tuned for more Showcast coverage of this prestigious event and check out some of our previous Showcast episodes as well. But for now, from the Film Verdict, this is Matt Micucci signing off. See you soon.